Today we're going to take a second look at these Rough Ryder Black Reserve knives. I put out a video last Tuesday on my initial impressions. The video was made about a week ahead of time, so by now I've had these knives for a week and a half, and my conclusion is still the same. The fit and finish is excellent. These knives are built well. They're very impressive. But over the course of a week and a half and of using them, I have come across some things that I don't like about the knives, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. I want to make sure you get the full story, not just the first impressions. Now, first of all, I love the look of this basket weave, but part of the problem with this basket weave is it doesn't add any traction over the smooth surface. One of the things I like about jigged bone is it adds a lot of traction to the knife. So that's one of the first little complaints that I have. I had also mentioned in that previous video that I don't see any reason why Rough Ryder couldn't have made these with VG10 blade steel, or at least their T10 carbon steel. They make the Wasp series of knives in VG10, and they're still only about $15 a piece. It would not have added much money to this knife, if any at all, for them to use VG10 instead of 440A, where your VG10 holds an edge for quite a bit longer period of time. Plus, it also is easier to sharpen than 440A. So those are two of the little things that have been bothering me. But a third thing has really come up too, and that is the thickness of these knives. They're very thick. This is not really a knife that I would want to carry too much in the pocket. I'd rather carry this on the belt. I mean, I have made a couple of these slips. This is a large slip, and it's perfectly carryable in that. You know, it's not bad. But when you compare that to a standard case trapper or any other standard trapper, look at the difference in thickness there. It's huge. This knife is a pleasure to carry in your pocket. It's nice and thin, but yet the handle is still big enough. It's very comfortable. These are exactly the same size knives, just so you know. They're the exact same length, and the blades are even the same length. So if you take a look there, we definitely are comparing apples to apples. If anything, the case trapper might even have just a slightly longer blade. You can see it might be an 1/8 inch or so. Two very comparable sized knives, except for the thickness. That is a huge difference when you're carrying the thing all day in your pocket. I would much rather carry this knife in my pocket, and this knife disappears in your pocket. This knife, it kind of, towards the end of the day, starts feeling like you have a brick in your pants pocket. So now we're on to the copperhead. It's got sort of a half stop, which is kind of funky. It's okay on the opening, but on the closing, it kind of interferes with how you expect a lockback to open and close. But it's not a deal breaker. That's not bad at all. Usually you don't get any kind of a half stop on the lockback. But again, let's look at the thickness of this knife, and let's compare it to a case copper lock. Let's compare the blade lengths. Again, you can see maybe an 1/8 inch extra blade length on the case knife. Handle lengths are identical. Now let's look at the thickness, especially towards the butt. Yeah, look how much thicker the Rough Ryder is. That is a big difference. For the same overall size knife, we're actually slightly smaller. The case is just as nice in hand. It spans your hand. You get a full 4-finger grip, just like you do with the Rough Ryder. Which one of these two would you rather carry in your pocket all day? If anything, this smooth Delrin actually has more traction than this Pack-A-Wood with the basket weave, which is kind of odd that the smooth material actually has a little bit more traction. So those are the issues that I have come across. I'm not too keen on the thickness of the knife, the smoothness of the covers, and the steel that these are made out of. Both of these case knives are in carbon steel, and it's fun. They patina. It's just a great steel to have on a knife. And the two Rough Riders are in 440A, which, like I said, I don't think they should be in 440A on a series that was manufactured this well. The tolerances are really tight. The build quality is high. Why skimp on it? So this is after having the knives for a while. These are my conclusions on it. I will not be buying any more of this series, and I will probably be gifting these knives, as they are not knives that I would want to carry. Now, there's a lot of you out there that would love to carry these knives, but I would much rather carry the standard case trapper rather than this knife, and the copper lock rather than this copperhead. We'll see you on the next one.